All right, today is Friday, August 24, 2018. This is the meeting of the Kubernetes CSI implementation group. We are 1 week away from code freeze, so we're getting right into the end of the 1.12 release cycle. We're going to go over the tasks that we're working on for 1.12 and then review any PRs or bugs that need attention. So one of the items that we're tracking most closely is the status of getting kubelet device registration to beta. Vlad, do you want to give any updates on this?
Absolutely. So I've been going back and forth reviewing that PR with Renault. I had some suggestion about some stuff regarding the code itself. So we've been going back and forth with that, but overall the PR looks good. The section that is in CSI itself, I looked at this morning or yesterday. It looks okay to me. So yeah, I think we probably will be give it a LGTM soon.
Okay, and is the CSI part currently doing anything, or is it just no-opping on the unregistration?
No, the CSI part is actually doing something. So the code that Sergey had implemented last quarter is being reused to implement that new plugin handler.
Okay.
Type. So the plugin handler, it's if you're looking for it, I think it's toward the bottom. It's like the last file.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah. So it's basically reusing. So I think it's on init or init plugin is where the I think you just passed it. Init plugin is the method, or validate plugin is a no-op. Init plugin, he's doing a setting up a dial. Yeah, that's correct. I was looking to make sure I didn't miss anything. Setting up a dial. And then the register plugin is where the rest of the stuff that Sergey had implemented last time. That's where it happens. I'm going to take another look at it again.
And what is this?
Now that I was
the thing that's a no-op for us, it was validate plugin.
Yeah, it's part of the interface. It's designed to, I guess, to give the plugin itself a chance to validate itself.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's an optional, and so if you look at the code, validate plugins get called first, and then init plugin get calls right after. So,
got it.
You know, if you don't have anything to put in,
for the most part, the core is there, and we may want to add more stuff to the CSI, but at least we have the same functionality that we already have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the same functionality from last time is in there.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks a lot. That's huge. And then does this PR also update the flag gates to say it's beta?
Not this PR. No, I don't think so. So it's something that we'll have to mention to. Well, actually, which flag are you talking about? The CSI flag gates?
No, there is, I think, a kubelet registration flag gate.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's not in there. Definitely, okay. I'll bring it to Renault's attention.
Okay, cool. We'll skip over test and documentation because we can technically do those after code freeze. If you have any progress on them, let me know.
Okay.
And then the additional tasks, also documentation, and I don't think we need to worry about this for code freeze either. Next up is the CSI driver registry. I basically took the PR that Jan had and cleaned it up a little bit. But for the most part, it's what he had. Next steps for this PR are adding in the CRD installation code. Is Jan on the line? Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
So Jan, I was talking to Chow from the API machinery team, and I discussed with him having a separate controller to install the CRD versus just installing it in the initialization code of the attached detached controller. And he says it would just do it in the initialization code of the attached detached controller.
But the CSI driver is used by multiple components, not just at a detached controller.
True, but it's going to be... Do you plan to ever, or do you know of a case where we're going to want to run CSI drivers without the attached detached controller?
No. Well, it's okay for now, and we can find a better place later.
Okay.
Because I think Tim O'Clair will also do some CRD.
Okay.
It would be nice to have some common place.
Okay. I'll talk to Tim and see if...
Are you talking about the
if there's
external
any
attached
plans.
detached controller?
Otherwise, I'm just trying to minimize the amount of work we have to do. Okay. And then the other thing is to fix the currently breaking red tests on this.
Yeah, I posted a comment there that some...
Yeah, I just actually
too much.
pushed that change, I think, right before this. So did it not go through?
Hey, Saad, when you mentioned the attached detached controller, are you talking about the external attached detached controller?
Oh, no. We're talking about the internal one.
Okay.
So for these CRDs, they are CRDs, but the core relies on them, and therefore it is okay for the core to install them.
Okay.
It's a little bit weird, but that's the path we're going down.
All right.
Okay. New node status field for CSI. So that's also part of this PR. Anything new here, Jan?
No.
Okay. And then do not require attach is also part of that PR, or at least the bit that is going to be checked as part of that PR. Inline volume support. I haven't added that to the...
Okay. That was going to be my question.
Yeah. I think Tim Hawkins has some more thoughts on this. I think he might be interested in the why isn't everything a PV-PVC? Or go through PV-PVC, even the local ephemeral volumes. So it might be worth setting up some time with him to chat through that today.
I'm not sure if are you breaking up?
Sorry, what's that?
I think you're breaking up a little bit. You said something about Tim Hawkins and...
Yeah, sorry. So I said Tim has some thoughts on this inline volume support. I think he's interested in why we are not going through PV-PVC, like why have inline at all. I think I had some arguments on that thread before.
Right.
It'd be worth just hashing it out with him to make sure that he's cool with it.
Okay.
So if we could set up some time with him today.
Just ping him on Slack?
Yeah. And then feel free to loop me into that.
Okay.
And then
I thought he was kind of open. I mean, toward the end, but we'll
yeah.
I'll go back to the PR again.
I was talking to him, I think, yesterday or the day before, and he said that he had some thoughts on it. He wasn't entirely certain.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure we don't have any blockers there.
All right. I'll try to set up something with him.
Okay. How's the rest of this looking?
So I did the update, the naming, etc. So the PR is updated. Jan merged it with his branch. I don't think I'm not gonna wait for you to do that update. I'm just gonna keep going with the implementation. But if if Tim is having reservation, I'm kind of reticent to kind of keep going until we have that conversation.
I think it's fine. Keep going. I'm not sure the PVPVC thing is a viable solution. If nothing else, we're going to need this for the in-tree migration thing anyway.
I see.
Jan, do you have any strong opinion about running inline versus only having PVPVC?
It gets messy when you use deployment or things like this, and you have secret like volumes in the deployment pod template. You need to create PVC for that.
Yep. Yeah. I think the one nice part about the PVPVC is that the provisioner, we don't have to have a volume handle generator because you technically have a provision step, but then that means that these volumes will have to have a provisioner, which kind of gets crazy.
Yeah, and we have no way how to configure the provisioning for my PVC. Like I need to put the secret name somewhere.
Yep.
But there's no such place in PVC.
Yeah. I think his argument was stick everything into the PVC, but then our argument is then you lose portability, and then we kind of ended there.
Yeah.
So, okay, we'll have that conversation. Passing workload info is also waiting on CSI registry. I don't have a bit in my current PR for this. I should add that. What are we going to call this bit? Do you have a preference?
There was something.
Was there?
Yeah. No, the PR is huge.
Let's see.
Types go. Yeah, pod info required on mount.
Oh yeah. Okay. Perfect. We're good there. Then Kubernetes to CSI topology support. Chang, any updates?
Yeah, I was able to hook up the wiring for CSI node info into the logic.
Nice.
Just got to have a couple of small things to add before I push out the PR again. I also didn't have an answer of when to create the CRD. Right now, when I'm manually testing, I'm just kind of like creating on the side. But
yeah, that's the portion that's missing from the PR that I have. I'm hoping to add that today. So you're just installing the CRD manually?
Yeah, for testing. But for are you going to add the CRD generation for CSI node info also?
Yes, I'll just do both in the same place.
And attached detached controller.
Yeah, the reason for the attached detached controller is that there's technically only one instance of it running within the cluster.
Mm-hmm.
And I only want to install it once. If you have a suggestion, otherwise I'm open to it.
Okay, yeah, I mean, the other option, which I'm not sure if it's any better, is to just like keep it in the kubelet code and say like if the CRD doesn't exist yet, create it.
Install it.
But yeah, I don't think it makes a huge difference. Right now, like if we install an attached detached controller in the kubelet code, I can just say like if the definition doesn't exist yet, if there's an error, just return and wait a little bit.
Mm.
The other thing I didn't realize was Haman is also working on a PR for max volume, which is also changing the same area of code, the label manager and all that. So I need to coordinate with him as well.
Okay. Sync up with him, make sure there's no overlap.
Yeah. Other than that, that's about it.
Cool.
Ching, can I have a question? Do you need anything from me, or Is everything all right?
Everything with the wiring has been good so far. Yeah, after those two issues I raised and we fixed that, it's been good.
Okay.
And moving forward, should I be rebasing from your PR, Jan, or Saad's PR?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
Rebase it off mine. We're going to use Jan's as a test one, and then anything that has good in there, I pull his commits into mine.
I'm not updating mine, so...
Sorry, what was that?
I am not updating my PR.
Got it. Okay, yeah. Once Saad's PR merges, I'll just pull from that one.
Yeah, great.
Thanks.
All right. Raw block volume support bug fixes. Status on this was it was usable, but there were some issues. And in order to discover what those issues are, we actually needed more implementations of the block driver of block drivers. And I think Brad said that he's going to have his CSI Ember folks try and use it and give feedback. So we're going to wait for that. Mount namespace propagation was, I believe, awaiting somebody. Oh, yeah, the feature gate. Okay, so it looks like needs to go to SIG architecture for that. And that's it. Next up are PRs that need attention. So I think Ching had the snapshot controller. I did not get a chance to look at this. Ching, do you know what the current status is?
So Jan said, I actually just pinged him earlier, and he said he is in the middle of reviewing it.
Yeah,
okay.
It's huge, and I'm constantly distracted by something else.
Yes, a lot of, I don't know, is it hard to review? We have a lot of small commits after we address your changes. I don't know if it's easier to look at the individual ones. So let me know if you want me to squash something. I don't know what is easier. Is it okay just to look at it the way it is right now?
I don't know. Do we lose anything if we squash it?
If we squash it, yeah. Sometimes, there's a potential to lose something. I'll just leave it the way it is right now.
Yeah, leave it as it is.
Yeah. Okay, and so we have addressed all the comments. So yeah, you guys can take a look at. Great. And the API, the data source API one, Tim is going to look at it again because yesterday he was asking us to add a validation check, which we added. So we'll see what he says. Hopefully he'll be okay with it.
Yeah, I think it should be okay.
Okay.
Okay, so next up is CSI volume limits. I haven't had a chance to look at that PR. It sounds like, Chang, you might have had a chance to look at this.
Not much. I just looked at the code and realized that there was a conflict, but other than that, I didn't look too deeply in detail.
Okay. We should probably have someone from this team take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And then mount support options, which was awaiting.
Oh, yeah.
Fixes and tests.
Okay.
So it
It's
sounds
still
like
8,005.
yeah.
That is
I think
weird.
we have to audit what the GoDep's versions are that he's changing and see if they're critical or not. And it might
Okay.
be that he's changing some, I don't know, like if it's a Kubernetes library, it'll pull in like 1,000 files. So, and if that's
Yeah.
necessary, that's necessary. If it's not, then we should change the dep file.
Well,
Okay. Moving along. Any updates on any of the bugs? I'm going to kind of put these on the back burner until we have code freeze.
yeah, that will help.
But if there's any update proactively, please let me know.
One thing I want to mention is for the endpoints RBAC policy thing. I think Matt pushed out another PR for making leader election configurable. Basically, I haven't looked at it in any detail, but last time we discussed, the idea was like right now it requires a very wide role for very wide access for endpoint objects at a cluster level for every provisioner, which is a little fishy. So the idea was to make leader election configurable and only enable it if the user wants it.
Nice. Okay. Is that PR out or it's being planned? It's planned.
I think it's out. Let me find the PR and I'll link it
Okay.
somewhere in the doc.
Sweet. Thanks a lot, Cheng.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I think the external attacher currently doesn't do leader election. We depend on the fact that we're deploying it as a stateful set, replica size 1 to prevent more than one instance from running. And
It does leader election.
Oh, it does leader election.
Yeah, I fixed it.
Oh. Did we give the same RBAC permissions for the full endpoint object to the external attacher?
Is that the?
That's a good question. I added to the examples how to deploy the attacher. I'm not sure I put it.
Is that the Matt Wong?
Yeah.
Is that the Matt Wong code that you?
Yeah,
picked?
yeah.
Well, attacher has a different one. I think I use config map instead of. Okay, so maybe it's not there.
Matt said he was going to look at the external attacher code as reference or something, figure something out, but I don't know how that ended up.
Yeah, okay. I will take a note and look at it on Monday. I think I use config map instead of endpoints. It's easier.
Okay.
Yeah, we should do whatever the external attacher is doing because that seems to be working well.
Okay.
All right, cool. That's all that I have for today. Is there anything anybody else wants to talk about?
What's Tim Hawkins' handle on Slack, or is he even on Slack?
Talking. THOCKIN.
Oh, THOCKIN. Okay, thanks.
Yep.
What's our strategy for the next week? Code Slash starts on Tuesday, and I don't think we will get merged anything by then.
Yes, so I should be able to apply the labels on the PRs that we need get merged, and we have until September 4th until we can get things merged. So I'm hoping if we have all our PRs done by the end of next week, by the 31st, then we have a little bit of buffer time, like a couple days the next week. Hopefully we don't have to go into that.
I am out of the office on 3rd and 4th.
3rd and 4th, okay.
Monday, Tuesday.
Deadline, everybody, is the 31st. So
yeah.
31st, make sure everything is done, LGTM'd, approved. Make as much noise as you need to get everything reviewed and approved before then.
Well, we have a lot of dependencies on the CSI driver. So that needs to be merged first, and then we can start doing things.
Yeah, that's my number one priority today.
And that's also the only API approval we need, right?
That's if there's anything that you need API approval wise, let me know, put it into that PR. So we only have to get one API approval there.
I don't think I need anything. Yeah, okay.
Cool.
So the deadline for the in-tree API change is the same? Is it also next Tuesday we need? So we have that data source API change. So
sorry, what's the context on this?
Oh, sorry. I was just asking about the code freeze. So we have this data source API change. That's the
yes,
right?
yes.
Does that one have a same deadline? Okay.
Yep.
So August 31st. We have
August 31st is our soft internal deadline for storage SIG.
Okay.
September 4th is the official Kubernetes deadline.
Okay.
So really target 31st. If you're not going to make 31st, then good luck.
Okay.
I'm also going to be traveling next week. So my availability for these meetings is going to be dicey. In which case, I might ask one of you to lead it on Wednesday and Friday. I'll definitely be here on Monday.
Yeah, I'm traveling next week as well.
Okay.
So
who is writing all the code?
Jan? It's up to you. If you want to do it, Jan.
I'll be making sure I'm working, but I will be on the road.
Okay. Otherwise, we can ask Luis to do it. I'll definitely be here on Monday, possibly Wednesday, and possibly Friday. I might not be able to be on the call.
So how are we going to pin you then? Slack still work? You're traveling.
You can ping me on Slack
Okay.
if you need something. I'll make sure to check that.
Okay. Thanks.
And then I'll try to make it to the Wednesday and Friday meetings. If I don't, I'll ask Luis to run them.
Okay.
Okay. That's all that I have. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right. See you on Monday. Thank you.
See you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.